What's up, everyone? If you think everything is terrible, I'm talking today with Meredith Aaron, who is going to put it on a t-shirt and actually make it funny. My name is Maya May, and we got to talk about a little bit of what's going on in the world, but we need to do it in a way that is fun. Because otherwise, we're all going to curl up into the fetal position and cry all the time, and we can't have that. Meredith Aaron, welcome to our Substack. Can you tell me about Boardwalk, your T-shirts, your rage journals? Because I saw them and I was like, that's what I need right now. I need a rage journal.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I started Borbach officially in 2014 in my home garage with my husband. It's grown so much since then. But I think the big driver for starting the brand was we wanted to make things that weren't out in the world that we wanted to own for ourselves. And I've always kind of had a gloomy point of view. So making stuff that's like darkly funny was something that appealed to me. And I felt like there's got to be other people that feel this way. And as I put stuff out there that was kind of my personality, I found a community of fans that are interested in the same things I'm interested in and feel the way I do. And so we just kept growing it. Now we have a whole collection of t-shirts, party games, activity books for adults, all kinds of things that have that kind of perspective to them.
Those are kind of the things we need right now because there's a lot of adulting going on right now, a lot of fascism in the world. And I think a lot of people are very, very stressed out. And I know when I came across some of your sketches online, I was like, oh, this is what people need. Were you guys always overtly political in your branding, or is that something that's evolved over time?
We didn't start out that way, and it wasn't even necessarily the idea when we started. The idea when we started was to make things that would make people laugh and make people feel seen and make people feel less alone in the world and make things that are relatable. And during the Biden years, we were tail end of the Obama years, we weren't super political because it just wasn't what was on everyone's mind. There were plenty of other things in the culture that seemed important at the time that we talked about instead, and just making funny content and funny products. But with how much of a nightmare this regime has been, both the first time and the second time, it's so bad that it's like kind of takes over our lives whether we want it to or not. And to continue to make other things and not talk about how it's affecting people, just it wouldn't serve the purpose of our brand, which is to be relatable and speak to what people are experiencing.
But one of the first things I saw from you guys, I think it was an ad, and it was about how people responded negatively, some people, to you guys doing political content. What are your thoughts on because I thought that was a wonderful reel, which hopefully you give people a link to that so they can watch that. But what is your response to people right now who are apolitical?
I think they're making a mistake. Being apolitical is what got us into this position. I think the people that are telling us not to be political aren't actually apolitical. I think they are supportive of the current regime and they want everyone else to feel the way they feel, and they're angry that other people have other points of view and they would like us to be quiet. So I think that's really where that's coming from, more than it is people that are actually not following. But I think not following is definitely a mistake. Things are getting increasingly dangerous for everyone. So I think not paying attention, is not responsible at this juncture. But I also don't care if some people don't like what we're doing, because we're not going to please everybody. And I would rather please people that I feel are my people, as opposed to trying to please people who I don't even like.
I 100% agree with that. And what are your thoughts seeing the targets of the world abandon all of their principles, apparently, when it comes to DEI, whereas you're a small business and you decided to lean into your principles and your values?
I'm not making excuses for Target because I think they did the wrong thing. I think sometimes it's easier at my size to do what you want because there are fewer stakeholders. But I think that, I think Target made a mistake, honestly. They didn't really pay attention to who their customer is. I think their customer is somebody more like me, as opposed to somebody that supports the regime. And so, trying to alienate somebody like me probably wasn't the best business decision. I think they did make the mistake of trying to please everyone instead of caring who their customer is. And my mentality is I would rather decide who I want as my customer and please that person rather than try and be for everybody.
Do you find people have responded to some of your content in a way that's shown that it's helped open people's eyes to what's going on, to what they maybe haven't paid attention to before?
Know that we've opened people's eyes if they weren't paying attention. I feel like if there's somebody who's like so steadfast and not paying attention at this point, then our content and products probably won't appeal to them anyway. I found that what a lot of the feedback that we get is that people feel seen, they feel less alone, they feel less crazy, they feel like there's somebody expressing how, what's going on in their head and what's going on in their heart, that maybe nobody else is putting in front of them or hasn't hit the right note for them, and then they see what we're doing and they're like, oh, I feel so much better that like somebody else is saying what I'm thinking and making it funny and helping me laugh at such a dark time.
Yeah, it's important to feel less alone right now, and I love that a T-shirt can do that. I can only imagine if someone was wearing one of your T-shirts and passed somebody else in a T-shirt, they would give each other like a look, a high five. What do you have a favorite T-shirt?
I mean, it changes all the time. I have so many. Probably at the moment, we have one that says the female gaze. It's been knocked off to death. We did originate it. I know for a fact we did because when we came up with it, I Googled it and it didn't exist. And now everyone's trying to knock it off. But it says the female gaze and it has Medusa on it. And I just love the wordplay of it. I love the way it turned out visually. It's one of my favorite things that we've done, but it's hard to have a favorite. We have a lot that I really like.
And you originate a lot of the ideas. You're a writer, entrepreneur, comedy writer as well. How do you come up with your ideas? Do they just pop into your head? How does it work?
They do pop into my head. I wish I had like a cool process or answer for that because people ask me that question often, but it really is just like stuff comes to me all the time. I think people that have my brain or my kind of brain, this stuff comes to you all the time, whether you're looking for it or not.
I like, and you have T-shirts, you have mugs. Do you have mugs?
We have a couple of mugs. It was a category we tested and didn't stick with. The ones that we're growing the most right now are books and games. We also still do the graphic tees. But a lot of my motivation to do books and games was that I felt like my screen time was out of control and I wanted to create offline things that I would like to do. And so that was why I started creating the kinds of products that we created to help people spend more time offline. And so that's been a nice addition to our product line.
I love it. Everybody log off right now. Go get a game and and play with your friends and neighbors. That is absolutely what we need more of. So where can people find your products and let us know where they can follow you on Instagram and such?
Yeah, you can find us at boredwalk.com and everything is linked from there.
Okay. And it's Boardwalk, not like BOARD, but
no, it's bored and going for a walk, like BORED. So
I love the wordplay. I think during the pandemic, when everybody was doing puzzles, I was like, I don't do puzzles, but I bet you I would have liked some of your conversation packs and starters and things like that. And the big thing right now that everybody is talking about as far as how to fight fascism is building community. And so I would love to see like game nights with some of your products or things like that. I'm all about a good game night. I'm trying to think of a fun play on words with board, game, walk, something, but I can't think of anything right now because my brain is fried by everything that is happening in the world. Well, Meredith, thanks so much for chatting with us. And everybody go check out some of this stuff. Wear it too. I feel like you guys could also make like protest signs. Like when people need pre-made protest signs because they don't.
Yeah, maybe.
They don't have the time and energy to make one. It was. I remember the first time I had to make a protest sign, I just stared at like my blank white thing, like I need to come up with something creative right now. So maybe you guys could do that too for people. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody, please go check out their stuff, and we'll see you out there soon at a protest maybe, or at a board game night.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
It was easy.
So I'm going to write up a piece to go along with the video. And so Meredith, I might